This is the Barbados Today morning news for Wednesday, May 3rd. Thank you for joining us. I am Marie-Claire Williams. Former Prime Minister Owen Arthur says he is not surprised that the recently sacked Central Bank Governor Dr. Delisle Worrell is now publicly advising government to seek help from the IMF. And he's suggesting that Worrell may have been pushing government in that direction all along when he held the post. But Arthur says Worrell's hands may have been tied due to a lack of consensus within government on going the IMF route. In an interview with Barbados Today, Arthur pleaded with the Frundle-Stewart administration to set aside false pride, and he reiterated the need to seek an IMF-sponsored solution to the current economic problems.
You can't have a false pride. The situation that our country faces is one that can only be resolved with very significant financial help from the international financial community on the best possible terms, properly negotiated to make sure that the problems that have to be dealt with are dealt with effectively, the economy is put on the mend, and the society is not put under peril. That is what needs to be done. But it is something that has needed to be done for the I've been calling for debt refinancing for 3 years. Yep. For privatization. I have put the issue about the exchange peg on the table. The exchange rate is here to work for us, not to be a god that we worship.
Dr. Worrell has offered his advice on how government should proceed in a bid to revive the economy in the first of what is expected to be a series of economic letters. Meanwhile, the government has come in for some stinging criticism from the General Secretary of the Barbados Workers' Union, Toni, over its handling of the economy, and she's calling for urgent dialogue on the recommendations on the way forward for the economy. In her May Day address at Browns Beach, Moore suggested that the country's leaders have been asleep while prospects remain grim.
The Barbados Workers' Union is concerned that there seems to be a lack of urgency. We are taking our time as if to suggest that the economy will settle itself. We seem to be experiencing the Alice in Wonderland effect. The only fundamental difference being that Alice actually woke up and she was able to recognize that she was dreaming. When we actually wake up, we will realize that the nightmare we are in, or we were in, continues.
In other news this morning, more than a dozen workers have received voluntary separation packages from the Insurance Corporation of Barbados. But Barbados Today understands that more staff cuts could be on the cards this month as the company proceeds with its internal restructuring program. The terminations took effect on April 30th. Former managers reportedly received bonus payments of up to $50,000 in addition to their regular severance and vacation pay. Non-managers were offered as much as $25,000 in addition to the severance packages. When contacted, the acting CEO, Goulbourne Aline, said he had no comment on the matter. The latest changes come on the heels of the sudden departure of Managing Director and CEO Ingrid Innes in January. A 23-year-old man has been granted $15,000 bail after being charged with causing the death of Station Sergeant Clifford Bridgman. Trey Shaquille Murray of Spring Hall, St. Lucie, appeared before Magistrate Douglas Frederick yesterday, accused of driving without due care and attention and driving without reasonable consideration for others using the road. The charges stem from a 5-vehicle smash-up on Carrington Road at the junction with Edgecombe Hill, St. Philip, on March 26. Murray was not required to plead to the indictable charges. He was ordered to surrender all of his travel documents by Wednesday to the No. 1 District A Criminal Court. He is due to return to court on May 17. At least one local artiste is reiterating the call for the decriminalization of small quantities of marijuana. It follows a similar call by reggae artist Buggy for an end to police charging individuals found with small amounts of the herb. He performed at Reggae on the Hill over the weekend. And performer Ozzy Reed, also known as Lead Pipe, supported Buggy's position, saying it had several uses, including as a medical drug.
it would be better on the world, you know. You could relax the mind.
For sure.
Because it's used for recreational purposes as well, which we all know. And everybody needs a little relaxed time. A lot of people just have a lot of stress on the mind, a lot of stuff on the mind. People might go to work all day, 7 days a week, and when they come home, that's all they have.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Will she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for one year, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados Today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertise in Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Ma'am, are you still there? Oh, she put it down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We're back now with news from the region, and the Guyana Teachers Union is expressing frustration at the slow pace at which government is addressing the issue of what they refer to as debunching money for the country's teachers. The agreement dates back to 2011 and aims to level the pay scheme for the educators. We get more in this report from HGP Nightly News.
The debunching money was part of an agreement that the GTU had with the PPP administration. Since teachers are paid based on their qualifications, this means that a teacher who has just entered the system is paid the same salary of another that has been in the system for 10 years. With the debunching payment, it is expected that teachers will be eligible for payments based on their years of service. The payment, which was outstanding for a number of years, was assured by the previous administration, but was denied during the run-up to the 2015 elections. Before and upon entering office, the coalition had committed to the agreement the GTU had with its predecessor. To date, there has been no payment, and the teachers are frustrated, according to the union head, Mr. Mark Light.
As far as we are concerned, this matter should have been resolved already, because you're talking about honoring an agreement that has been there for the last 10 years. So the teachers are extremely frustrated, and I see this, as something that will continue to agitate our members.
On the international scene, a survey conducted by a British journalist shows that at least a quarter of men in the Arab region are in support of equality for women in some areas, but some still believe a woman's primary role is at home. The study found that younger men mostly appear to be conservative, just like their fathers. But Shireen El-Feki, who did the study, says men in the region are facing tremendous pressure to be providers.
In the 4 countries, we talked to over 10,000 men and women in Egypt, Palestine, Lebanon, and Morocco. But in particular, the men, more than 90% of the men in these countries said they were fearful for their own safety. More than 3/4 are worried about their family's future. More than 2/3 are concerned about being able to supply their family's daily needs. And around 60% said that they were stressed or depressed, or sometimes felt ashamed to face their families because of lack of work. There is the perception about the Arab region that the patriarchy clearly dominates and that it's fantastic for men. The patriarchy works for the very small minority who are on the top of that pyramid.
That's the morning news. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune into Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I am Mary Claire Williams. Have a good morning.